So I'm from Zimbabwe, born and raised, and life here is tough. It's hard, especially if you aren't rich, and I want to talk about it thanks to this comment. So this is what living in Africa is like. Well, compared to what I believe the normal living standards are out there, because 99% of my audience is from outside Africa. Also, I'm sorry my voice sounds weird. It just does. I was a very sort of sheltered kid. I lived in a white neighborhood and went to a white preschool and overall lived a very comfortable life. The standard American dream kind of. Until one day my dad goes like, "We're moving," which was whatever since we also moved around a lot when I was a kid. But as we were traveling, I noticed the houses started to look less like houses and more like, I don't know how to say this without sounding offensive, but like slums. And when we arrived to our new home, I was confused as heck because the building we were going to be living in looked like a brick. I am not even kidding, here it is. Of course it's a lot better now, but when we first got there, it was awful and it took a while for me to adjust. First, there was no electricity, so for the first couple months we usually relied on a single candle every night. My parents also sold all the electrical gadgets for a bit of some extra cash, plus they wouldn't work here anyway, so no TV, no fridge or anything for the next couple years. We'd start a fire to cook our meals and sometimes use this thing, I don't know what people out there call it, we call it a chumbaura, which was super slow and sucked. Next, there was no water, like the government completely abandoned this area, so we dug out a well just a bit from our house and I'd have to fetch water from it every day multiple times and carry the buckets back home. I was resentful towards this lifestyle, especially coming from such a comfortable life, but I eventually grew to appreciate it because over the years, as my parents started getting back up on their feet financial wise, we've been upgrading and slowly working back towards the comfortable life we once lived. Now we have electricity from solar panels and water and internet, and we're slowly working ourselves back to where we once were. But I felt bad for resenting that kind of life because most Zimbabweans, Africans even, live that life. Like, it's all they know. They're born in a life without basic commodities that most people take for granted. They don't have internet, they can't afford it when they're barely getting food to put on the table every night. So I'm just really grateful that I got that kind of exposure. Like, I can follow what's happening out there with pop culture and look at memes and stuff, and I still live among people who can't afford such. I don't have much, but you know, it could be so much worse. Anyway, this was kind of a short video because animating is hard, especially when you're doing it on an iPhone 7 with a messed up screen, so I'm ending it here. There's still so much more I want to talk about the African experience, like what school is like here or about some of our super cool cultures, so I'll probably make this a video series. Like and subscribe to see how that goes, and bye bye.